Hey everybody, Punisher88 here. How you all doing? So I figured I'd take this time to do a little comic book haul for you. It's a pretty lazy day today, so I'm just sitting here, sipping on a San Miguel. Yes, that's right folks, San Miguel. This stuff is brewed 10,000 miles away. This stuff came all the way from the Philippines, man. And I tell you what, this stuff is awesome. But enough of the salesman pitch. This is a comic book haul, right? So, this past weekend, Sunday to be exact, Super Bowl Sunday, once again, me and Kevin of Kevin's Comics, um, we attended another little mini con here in Montreal. This time around, it was called RetroCon, whereas the one we went to last weekend was Nostalgie Montréal. And this past weekend's con was a little bigger. There was a lot more vendors and whatnot. There was even an artist there from IDW, which was really cool because he was doing commissions and everything. And I even managed to get a free sketch from him, and I'll show it to you in a little bit. And yeah, it was just really cool. I mean, the entrance to get in was only $5, so that's awesome with me. None of this, 40, 50, 60, $70 stuff like with the big cons. And there was just a little bit of everything for everyone. I mean, you walked in, you had your comic books, you had your vintage video games, you had your action figures, toys, whatnot. There was a guy there selling VHS tapes, which was pretty interesting. There was even some cosplay going on, which was awesome. There was just something for everyone. And going into this thing, I decided to set a budget for myself, which is something I never do. Basically, I go into these things, I start looking at books, and I start pulling them left and right. I know, dangerous. But no, I decided to set a budget for myself, and I set it at a very modest $30, which I thought, was going to go like that. But in the end, I got a nice little stack of books here. And what's really neat about this stack of books is, for starters, all these books were either 50% off sticker price or 3 for $1. They all came from the same vendor because every one of these little mini cons I go to, or if I'm at the main, Montreal Comic Con, I always see these guys, and it never fails. I never leave their booth empty-handed. They got great prices. I mean, they'll bring their gold, I call it, stuff, which is like in really high grade. But then their, $2 bins, 50% off stuff is awesome, especially for me when I don't really care much on grade as long as, the staples are still holding the cover on and the cover is still intact without writing on it, So, yeah, so all these books are from the same vendor. Also, in this stack, I managed to snag 5 first appearances and knock 2 books off my top 10 for 2016 list. So that's pretty cool right there. Now, before I show you the books, I wanted to mention something concerning my top 10 list for this year. I was looking at it the other day and decided that I had to revamp it because a lot of the books I had marked down were very big, pricey books. And I was thinking long term, and probably by the end of this year, out of all those books, maybe I would have been able to get maybe one. So I revamped everything. I kept some from my old list and then replaced everything else with some more affordable books. So I'm going to go over my list with you right now. So the first one here, or in the 10 spot, this is from my old list. That's Thor issue 132, which is the first appearance of Ego, the Living Planet. Number 9, also from my old list, is Journey into Mystery, issue 118, which is the first appearance of the Destroyer. Number 8, Iron Man 282, first appearance of War Machine. You guys know I got to cross that one out already, so awesome on that. Number 7, this is also from my old list, Flash, issue 250, which is the first appearance of Golden Glider. And if you guys watch the Flash TV show, you guys will know that the episodes that she's in, she's awesome. Number 6, Captain America issue 193. That's where Jack Kirby came back onto the Captain America title, I believe, and it's the whole Mad Bomb story. And I was watching the other day the Captain America 75th anniversary special they did in January. Awesome. And they were talking about the Mad Bomb story, and it sounds really good. And apparently it's one of, the best, classic Captain America stories. So I was like, I want to get that really bad. So that's a new one on the list. Number 5, this is from the old list. World's Finest issue 142. The first appearance of Composite Superman. Very odd character, and I've always wanted to read about him and whatnot. So that's his first appearance. And now everything else down from 4 to 1, these are all new. So number 4, we have Thor issue 169, which is the origin of Galactus. Always wanted to read about that. Number 3, we have Captain Marvel issue 27, which is the second appearance of Thanos. Number 2, we have Brave and the Bold issue 59, which is the first Batman team up in the Brave and the Bold series. And then number 1, I have to go with a big book, a big book, and that's Iron Man number 1. I did see a copy of it yesterday from the same guys I bought this whole stack from, but like I said, their top-notch books are in very, gorgeous grade. And I was looking at this thing, and I flipped it over, and I see the price tag on the back. Yeah, I don't have $1,000 to spend on a comic book, but it was really nice to look at, though. So I don't know, maybe somewhere down the road this year I'll get some really good luck. I mean, if you guys watch Comic Trips, I just finished watching not too long ago their newest episode for today, and Paul, man, he is so lucky. They went to this little shop and they had this amazing sale going on, which I think everything like wall books and whatnot were like 60 or 70% off, and he got an Iron Man number 1 for like $115. That I can do. That's a price I can do, especially for an Iron Man number 1. So I gotta give the folks at Comic Trips, I gotta give them props, man, for pulling the trigger on such a gorgeous book. It's not, a 9.8 or anything, but it's still an awesome addition to any collection. So, yeah. So anyway, with all that out of the way, let me show you what I got. So first, I'll show you my little sketch. I always keep everything in my little brown book. I find it super handy to have one of these. I paid $1 for it, so it's really cool, and I keep all my sketches in it. So the guy from IDW, his name is Thomas Deere, and he does the artwork on the Transformers comic. I forget which one. I think there's like 3 or 4 different Transformer comics. Well, anyway, he was doing this awesome commission of Starscream, and I asked him if he could just do a quick sketch for me, and he did. So I got a little head sketch of Megatron. Super cool. So there's that. Now, the comic books. So first we have the Uncanny X-Men issue 191. This is the first appearance of Nimrod. Who is Nimrod? Well, to put it in layman terms, Nimrod is a bad mamma jamma. He is a advanced Sentinel, and he is like hell-bent on really destroying all mutants. He is bad news. Like, I think it was in Uncanny X-Men number 194 or 195, a couple issues after this, there's a showdown between Nimrod and the Juggernaut, and Nimrod kicks Juggernaut's ass. It's crazy, but really cool story. I think it's also Nimrod's origin story and everything. So I was happy to get that. Next, we have the Incredible Hulk, issue 166. This is the first appearance of this guy right here, Zax, crazy electro monster, whatever you want to call him. The reason why I got this is because on Facebook, I am a huge fan of the Marvel Avengers Alliance game. Is the only game I play on Facebook, and I play it a lot. And right now, this is the character who's like the group boss, whatever everyone has to go against. And when I saw him, I was like, that guy looks cool, man. So I've never really heard of him before, so I wanted to try and track down his first appearance or whatever and read about him a bit. So I was lucky. I got this in the 3 for $1 bin, so really cool. Next, the first book to knock off my top 10 list, World's Finest, issue 142. First appearance of Composite Superman. Not in the greatest shape or whatever, but I don't care. I'm happy to have it. I'm going to slip this in a Mylar later today or tomorrow, and it's going to look awesome. So, there we go. Next, the second book to knock off my top 10 list. The Mighty Thor, issue 132. First appearance of Ego, the Living Planet. And yes, I know I just said before, as long as the cover's intact and there's no writing on the cover, this one does have a little 15-cent marking, but that, and they had another copy which made a difference of $5, so I was like, with a little price in the corner, I could live with that. So, yeah, very cool. Now, continuing with the first appearances, this also got it in the 3 for $1 bin. The Invincible Iron Man, issue 170. The first appearance of Jim Rhodes as Iron Man. Very cool, because I've been seeing this book in high grade going for ridiculous prices. So, was really happy to get this to knock another check mark off the Invincible Iron Man Volume 1 run. So, yeah, very cool. Next, as you guys know, the whole Marvel team-up thing. So, we all know that there's 150 issues in the main series, but there's also a couple annuals. So I figured if I come across any, I'll try and knock them off. So I got Marvel Team-Up Annual number 5. And this is Spider-Man and the Thing, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Quasar. So that's pretty cool. Next, we got some Jack Kirby goodness. I've been wanting this for a while. I have issue number 3, but I've always wanted issue number 1. But it's always been like, $20, $30 and whatnot, and I really didn't feel like dishing that much out for it. So since this was 50% off, and the grade is pretty good, especially for an all-white background, we got OMAC number 1. Oh yeah. And I was turned on to this. Like, I've never really read any OMAC stuff, but I was turned on to this book by watching one of Howler Mouse's videos, and he was talking about OMAC and Jack Kirby and everything, and I was like, I'd like to get that book one day. Well, now I have it. Next, going with some more Invincible Iron Man stuff, just some filler stuff. We got issue number 60. These were all in the 3 for $1 bin because they're kind of water damaged and everything, but I don't care. So we got 60, number 70, and one of my all-time favorite Iron Man covers, issue number 80. This is the second copy I own of this book. This one's a little rougher than my other one because it is a bit water damaged, but I didn't care. I saw this in a 3 for $1 bin. It was coming home. And then the piece de resistance of this whole haul is my very first Amazing Spider-Man Silver Age book. I've always loved this cover, and I've always wanted to own it. So this was 50% off. The grade is kind of rough, but I don't care. I'm going to put this in a top loader after. This is the Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 67. Some classic John Romita Sr. artwork here, and just really happy to have this. I'm probably going to put this in the top loader and put it up on my shelf after. That's how much I love this cover. So, yeah, really happy to have this. So, there you go, folks. There's another haul for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, give her a thumbs up. And if not, give her a thumbs down. And if you enjoy haul videos like this one, take a look around my channel. I got plenty of them. Alrighty? So that's it for now. So, till next time, this is Punisher88, signing off. See ya!